Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. This was a fun piece from Daily Hodl titled Ripple Battles Crypto FUD. 99.9% of all XRP trading we have nothing to do with. And that's Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse stating that. So I'm going to run through the details of this piece. Just came out, I guess, late yesterday, very late yesterday, so a little before midnight. And also, this is very cool stuff. A notable XRP YouTuber, not Moon Lambo, womp womp, has been invited, though. Has been invited by... Man, I swear sometimes words hard for Moon Lambo. Has been invited to Ripple Swell by Ripple. Yes, Ripple invited a very notable XRP YouTuber. Awesome stuff. So I'm going to share with you specifics on that. And then David Schwartz, Ripple CTO, and... Ripple CTO and co-creator of the XRP ledger, he was asked today, what's it take to get an invite from Ripple to Swell? And I'm going to share with you David's response to that. I've also got a piece I'm going to share with you at the end of this video titled Grayscale Reports Tripled Inflows. Offshore institutional investors in majority. Now, before we get going here, if you would please delicately tap that like button. It really helps out the channel. And if you're a fan of Ripple and XRP, go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel, because that is a pretty gosh darn reasonable thing to do here. So let's jump into the first piece. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse says the San Francisco startup has dramatically reduced the amount of XRP it's selling over the counter. In an interview with Anthony Pompliano, Garlinghouse says the company has determined institutions now have plenty of ways to buy XRP and don't need help from Ripple. And here's a quote from Brad Garlinghouse. "We have all but stopped the OTC sales. We just tell them to go to the market nowadays. I think Q1 was around 170 million in over-the-counter XRP sales. Q2 was around 250 million. Q3 will be dramatically lower." And for those of you not aware, Ripple does put out a quarterly XRP markets report, and they're very transparent. They don't have to. Mind you, Ripple is a private company, yet they choose to be the most transparent company in all of blockchain. Period. Full stop, as Brad Garlinghouse likes to say. And so I'm really looking forward to this. I suppose, so what, it's the 15th, October 15th as I record this, so I would suspect at some point roughly within the next week it's going to be released, maybe a little sooner, maybe a little later. It's usually, it seems to me, usually at least 3 weeks into any, the month, the month in which they're going to release this report, that it's actually out there. And that is a fun read. I look forward to reviewing that with you, but indeed this is going to go down quite a bit. Now, of course, what Ripple does is they, in terms of the amount of XRP they're willing to sell, they keep it to a very low percentage of total transactions, and that's why it's been so important to them to get real volume metrics, to indicate what is actually transacting on exchanges. And so they're working. And I do appreciate big picture, even as much as I am not the biggest fan of CoinMarketCap. At least it seems to me that they're trying to strive to be more accurate, let's say, and they've put out, and I've covered it in the video, so I'm not in press video, so I'm not going to get into it. But they had talked about things that they're doing to try and just be more accurate in terms of reporting, because that affects all sorts of stuff, and it could affect the way that potential investors, speculators feel about individual cryptocurrencies. So it's indeed important. Anyway, the piece continues. Garlinghouse says the company continues to sell XRP programmatically on crypto exchanges. Each day, Ripple calculates the total amount of XRP sold across all exchanges based on volume data from Crypto Compare, and this is what they had switched to. I believe, if memory is not failing me, previously they were relying on CoinMarketCap.com. And then the piece states it then sells 10 basis points of that total volume, or 0.1%. Of its own XRP. So there you go. It's a very measured approach. There's no dumping to be had here. So if you think that Ripple is the reason that XRP is the price that it's at, and you think it should be higher, you think it's all Ripple's fault, I know there are a minority of people that think that, and nothing against you if you're one of the people listening that does believe that, but I certainly very wholeheartedly disagree with you. Ripple is not putting anywhere near enough XRP out there into the world to have any sort of meaningful effect on XRP's price. It really is supply and demand. And with such a small percentage from Ripple, again, not a thing. So here's a quote again, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. One of the things we actually agree with is we try to have a constructive way to engage the market by saying, we're going to sell OTC, that's over the counter, and we're going to sell programmatically at 10 basis points of daily market activity. Every day, Ripple is 10 basis points of the overall XRP volume. If there's $100 million worth of daily volume before Ripple does anything, Ripple would be $100,000 in sales. Do you see that? There is no freaking way that Ripple is in any meaningful way affecting the price of XRP. I get that every buy and sell has an effect within the ecosystem, but look, I can sell all of my XRP today if I want, and it's not going to make a dent. And I'm telling you, at this tiny fraction of a percent, it wouldn't be a meaningful amount, any sort of meaningful price action as a result of what Ripple's doing here. And then the piece wraps up stating, Ripple will release its new quarterly market report in the next couple of weeks, which will reveal exactly how much the company sold over the counter and programmatically. And that's cool stuff here. And it's Ripple gets a lot of crap because of how transparent they are, because with all the data out there, it's easy if you want to pick on them, especially if you're a maximalist of some other coin. Makes them an easy target, but they're being adults, and I just appreciate that everybody within the XRP community, if you're well researched and you care to participate, you tend to, I see it on Twitter on a daily basis, you set the record straight everywhere you can. And sometimes that results in friendly conversations and people learn something, and sometimes it's very clear that there are just maximalists out there that are trying to stir things up, stating things that they know to not be the truth. So it's a mixed bag there, right? All right, check out this next tweet. This is from Mr. BXRP, who tweeted out, last year, XRP went from 26 cents to 56 cents in the 2-week run-up to Swell. What will this year bring? And indeed, this is true, and I talked about this actually just the other day, and I don't know that it was specifically because of the Swell event. Maybe that was a factor. We'll see if anything like that happens this year. But I can tell you that there was a rumor out there about XRapid. Mind you, XRapid a year ago at that point, it was in beta. And so there was a rumor that the production version was going to be out soon and perhaps announced at Swell. And indeed, it actually was announced that the production version of XRapid was available for actual commercial use. And so that ended up being an accurate rumor, and then the price was, by the time that announcement was made, though, thanks to all the speculation and the rumors, the price action was already built in. So if it was because of that, then I wouldn't necessarily expect price pump just because we're about to hit Swell. But if it is indeed Swell that had the factor, then maybe it'll happen again. And I don't know. It's going to be fun to watch and see what happens. I'm just not sure. There was also, I think, and I'm just pulling from memory here, but Swell, the first Swell by Ripple was in 2017. I think there was some sort of price action short term around there. I don't think it was as big as what we're seeing here for year two, from 26 cents to 56 cents as Mr. B cited here. But, there was such a frenzy in 2017. If even just the fact that Swell was occurring had a factor there, that wouldn't surprise me. But now, the way things are now, it's, there's still a frenzy around crypto, don't get me wrong, but 2017 was frickin' bonkers. Put on a straight jacket, bonkers at the time in terms of the frenzy and the price action and all that. So I don't know for sure. It'll be, like I said, it'll be fun to watch. Don't know for sure what's going to happen, but this whole thing's a fun ride. Now check out this. This is the XRP YouTuber I was referencing. Some of you probably already know. XRP YouTuber, digital asset investor. He is the largest XRP YouTube channel on the planet, quite literally, as far as I know. Unless you count someone like Modern Investor, but he's not explicitly 100% XRP. He's great too. He's a fun guy to listen to. I think last I saw 150,000 subscribers. But if you're talking straight up XRP, the digital asset investor, I love this guy. He's king. Period. He just puts out great content. And so check this tweet from him. It is my official duty, honor, and privilege as the digital asset investor to accept Ripple's generous offer to attend Swell this year. Folks, it's on like Donkey Kong. I frickin' love that. Check this out. And so I had to retweet that, which I did right here. And I got to give a shout out as a result to _bull, who on Twitter is @bullhbar. Tweeted this out in response to me retweeting what Digital Asset Investor put there. It's just a nice tweet, and I just thought I'd share it with you and give a shout out. Listen to you daily since less than 1,000 subs on YouTube, which, so that goes back several months. And the beginning of June, I had about 200 subscribers, and now several months later, I've been getting traction. I mean, I ran this channel for about half a year, and it's hard to get traction. There's a lot of great content creators out there, and it's 6 months to get 200 subscribers. But from there, now as I'm talking, I think it's around 11,400. So two reasons I'm stating this. First of all, shout out, like I said, to Bull HBAR. And second, I'm just going to use it as an opportunity to thank everybody that listens to my channel, whether you just listen or you comment or you like or if you subscribe. Genuine thank you. And my mind is still blown that in the shorter time the channel has grown to this degree. It really absolutely blows my simple little Moon Lambo mind. So thank you very much. But he also wrote, HBAR Bull here wrote, "You'll be at next year's Swell." And he's got a little checkbox. "I have guys at my work yelling out, 'To the Moon Lambo,' which is how I end my videos." And I got to tell you, tell your coworkers this: if they're not being told to shut up, then they're just not yelling "To the Moon Lambo" loud enough. So if you could encourage them to really pipe up and just, breathe in and then just yell out "To the Moon Lambo," and unless they're getting complaints, they're doing it wrong. So just a friendly suggestion right there. But yeah. So what does it take to get to next year's Swell? Check this out. This is fun here. So XRP Darren tweeted this out. "I'm patiently waiting for my Swell invitation," and gave a little winky face. And David Schwartz, Ripple CTO, co-creator of the XRP ledger, responded with this. No emojis or anything. He just wrote, "Sorry, you have to have at least 20,000 followers." And mind you, so XRP Darren here has 10,400, which is still, that's a lot of Twitter followers. Okay, he's very active within the XRP community. I like that. He puts out good content there. And then somebody named Just a Guy responded, "Yikes," and then wrote in another tweet, "Guessing this was a joke, question mark? Not sure, but to clarify my comments, it's clear that @JoelCats, which is the handle for David Schwartz on Twitter, is not correct here since they offered a ticket to somebody with fewer than 14,000 followers." And so David Schwartz did respond, "It's a joke, yes. I looked at how many followers he had and made up a number that was just enough larger to make it seem out of reach." And then he gave a little winky face there. So I thought it was funny. David Schwartz does indeed have a good sense of humor. And so, and Swell, just for a quick recap, here's what Swell is. They're actually on Investopedia. How about this? In an announcement in August 2017, the Ripple team indicated that their customers had requested that Ripple bring together leaders in banking and blockchain who are committed to changing the way the world moves money today. In response to those requests, the team put together a conference called Swell, The Future is Here, which was in Toronto, October 16th through 18th of 2017. So that means we're coming up on the third annual Swell. Anyway, Swell was designed as a meeting of the top names of the virtual currency and blockchain worlds, an event in which a roster of payments experts and industry luminaries could discuss trends, success stories of blockchain implementations, and real-world blockchain use cases to meet changing customer demands for global payments. And here's the actual Swell page by Ripple. And I wanted to go down here to location. By the way, so this is in Singapore, so man, digital asset investors really going. He's going to Singapore. That is going to be one hell of a trip. That's got to be a blast right there. So I'm sure he'll be happy to report back. And then here's the frequently asked questions section. And here, I just wanted to say, there's a question, frequently asked questions. Who will be attending Swell? And I got a pet peeve here. Why doesn't it say digital asset investor right here? It just says this event. Who will be attending Swell? It says this event brings together leaders in financial services, technology, payments, policy, academia, central banking, and other experts focused on blockchain. So Ripple, just a friendly suggestion. After this, you keep what you have there, but then write "and digital asset investor." Just add in there "and digital asset investor." Go ahead. It's factual. You should do it. All right, into this last piece here from ambcrypto.com. Grayscale reports tripled inflows offshore institutional investors in majority. Grayscale Investments recently made headlines for becoming the first firm to get FINRA's approval on its Digital Large Cap Fund, DLC, offering. Providing deeper insights into the company's workflow, Grayscale released its latest Q3 2019 report through a tweet which read, quote, "Oh good, McAfee just popped up on my screen. I love it when my videos get ruined. I'm so unprofessional. Unsubscribe." Anyway, here's the quote. Our Q3 2019 Grayscale Digital Asset Investment Report highlights investment activity and performance across the Grayscale family of products in the third quarter of the year. Spoiler alert, it was a record-breaking quarter. That's bullish, is it not? Grayscale reported that its investment inflows tripled quarter over quarter from $84.8 to 254.9 million, despite recent declines in digital asset market prices across its entire product line. As part of Digital Currency Group, Grayscale investment products currently including the publicly quoted Bitcoin Trust, Ethereum Classic Trust, and its FINRA-approved flagship product, Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund, DLC. And then it continues, based on the above graphical representation, which you can look at right here if you actually want to pause, that's fine. Here it is on your screen. If you're driving, don't worry about it. You can get the gist of the story without it. The dollar-denominated inflows from Q3 2019, inflows accounted for nearly 27% of total cumulative inflows to Grayscale products since inception. Grayscale raised $254.9 million over the last 3 months, averaging weekly investment across all products this quarter to $19.6 million. And the report highlighted, quote, furthermore, 67% of inflows this quarter were into Grayscale Bitcoin Trust and 33% were into Grayscale Products X Bitcoin Trust. This is a bit more balanced that we've seen over the trailing 12 months. And so can I just use this as an opportunity for all those, and I know it's not XRP-centric, this particular piece, even though this is an XRP channel, period, full stop, as Brad Garlinghouse would say. To me, it's just a fun thing to look back and think about all the people that didn't know what they were doing when they jumped into crypto in 2017. Okay, fine, I was one of them. But I think about all the people in 2018, after they jumped in, that panic sold saying crypto is dead, Bitcoin's dead, maybe even XRP's, all crypto, it's just dead. Didn't know what the heck they were talking about, panic sold, now they're out of it, lost a boatload of money, and here it is, the world goes on and everything's going to be fine. And look, not financial advice whatsoever, but I firmly believe the all-time highs we saw in 2017 and beginning part of 2018, specifically for XRP, it's going to be nothing in the future. I think there are going to be individual coins valued in the trillions. And so look, I want positive news out there. I want people to know this. Look, I'm an XRP guy, cool, but I want other projects to succeed. I think that will be good for XRP because it's good for the entire asset class, plain and simple. So I love seeing this stuff. That's it for this video. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo! And again, make sure your coworkers yell it at the top of their lungs.